What's up, Session Podcast fans? Thanks for clicking this video. This is the Ryan Notes interview. We traveled all the way out to LA to meet with my good friend Ryan Notes, singer, songwriter, you name it. It was a great time, really great interview, great atmosphere, great environment. However, the first 25 minutes, I guess, audio of this video is not the normal Session Podcast audio. It did kind of get demented a little bit, just with being in technology and formatting and things like that. So bear with us, guys. 25 minutes in, and then after that, we got the normal Session Podcast audio for you guys. But please don't let that discourage you from watching this interview. This was a great time. Ryan Notes was a great guy. It was such an amazing interview, guys. I hope you enjoy it. Without further ado, A Conversation in LA, Part 2. Thanks, guys.
And it might be loud, and I'm like, bro, look
come
at
up here to
this.
the hills.
I got hummingbirds out here. You know what I'm saying? We looking at hummingbirds and shit. We got the mountains.
Cultivation. We cultivated a vibe.
I cannot believe you live here, G. Like, this is insane. We live, by the way. It's your boy Zoe, the Session Podcast. I'm here with Ryan Notes.
My name's Ryan Notes.
Talk to me, brother.
How you doing?
Yeah,
My name's Ryan Notes. I'm a songwriter, artist, so many other things, but my main focus is writing beautiful music, telling beautiful stories for the people. And I live in LA. I'm from Ohio originally.
Midwest in the building.
Yes, sir.
You already know what's going on. Midwest in the building.
And then, I lived in New York.
What's the...
I thought.
Whatever. I never know which buttons is on. Like, everybody watches the Session Podcast, and they know I never know which button is which. I don't even, these defaults.
You're rolling the dice every time. See what happens?
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you crap out. There's
I want to get one on there. I want to Ryan Notes.
Right. I need whatever what's your ad lib?
It's a work in progress.
Oh, Jesus.
That'll work.
I got a little work to do on that one. But.
Oh, buddy. Oh, man. Hey, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day in LA. We just rounded out about 12:30 p.m. So we just a little over noon. The sun's at the peak. It's literally right above us. So that's why we're just dark. It's literally, literally right above us. The sun's literally right above us.
And we're just looking clean.
Man, thank you, brother.
Just a three-piece.
Hey. Yeah, you know, I tried to go for a little vintage look.
Mine's in the cleaners.
You know what I'm saying?
I got the email, but mine was in the cleaners. So
I'm trying to change a tie, bro. You know, like Chicago niggas, we got a certain way we dress. So it's like, you from Chicago when you see it.
Okay.
You just know. Air Force One.
Okay, I was gonna say, describe it to me.
Air Force One, something like a Nike Tech hoodie.
Okay, that was big in New York for sure.
A lot of niggas is wearing Amiri jeans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, dreads is a dead giveaway most times for niggas. Don't come at me. Y'all niggas got dreads. You know, shit like that, bro. You feel me? But mainly the Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
Dead giveaway, G. Just almost dead giveaway. Like 50, like not even 50, like 75, 25 from Chicago.
I'm going to give my age away real quick.
Yeah.
I remember looking up at, it was J-Lo, and it was, I think it was Love Don't Cost a Thing.
Oh, see, that's some old
video.
But look though.
I remember getting on the internet and being like, what are the white shoes in the J-Lo Love Don't Cost a Thing video? Cause I wanted to buy Air Force Ones, but I didn't know what they were. I'm in Ohio. I grew up on a farm, but I'm like, I need these shoes.
Yeah. So you're a farmer kid.
I grew up on a farm,
Were you actually like you tended to the farm, pops and all that shit?
With my grandpa, yeah. So I wasn't full on farm. Like, there are people that I grew up with that were in FFA, Future Farmers of America.
Right.
My high school.
They knew every John Deere imaginable.
My cousin Braden, like, when he had toys when he was a kid, it wasn't G.I. Joe, it was John Deere tractor.
I bet.
Like, had them all, like, and my cousin Andrew too. But, we had to take your tractor to school day in my high school. That's how country it was. So people would drive, one day you drive your tractors into school. The whole student.
Hey, that's kind of lit though.
It was wild.
That's lit.
So I grew up with a lot of people who are real farmers. I grew up on a real farm, but I wouldn't call myself a real farmer. You feel me? Like,
But no,
lived
you
overall
could,
at 5 a.m. But I was going in the chicken coop and picking the eggs with my grandma. I was riding the horses bareback. Yeah,
if you got land, you know exactly what to do.
Yeah, we had 25 acres, corn and beans. My grandpa, my grandpa had, and we lived close to like 200 acres of farmland.
Okay.
My neighbor had. But yeah, I grew up on.
They had 200 acres.
Yeah.
They just came to America and just snagged some
crazy.
shit.
Well, the thing is when my grandpa bought that, he bought it in the 60s. I think he bought it for like under 30,000 for 25 acres. And I mean, we can get into
Inflation and all shit,
and
right.
inflation and all that, but it just sold, and the one price right now for what it sold was $50,000 for 1 acre. It's currently at he bought 25 acres for 30,000.
Jesus Christ, he bought it for like 2,400.
He got 24 acres for free.
Yo,
Buy one, get 20 for free. Yeah, it's crazy. So that area is now being developed so crazy, and that's we'll get to the project and all that, but that's why Kelly's Acre. That's Kelly's Acres. My grandpa Kelly. If you look in that studio right there on the top right of the wall, you see that sign that says Kelly's Acres.
Oh, word.
My grandpa.
And that's probably from the 60s.
Well, he just was a woodworker, so he had that sign hanging in our kitchen. So the farm was Kelly's Acres. We did everything
for real.
Yeah, we had the spot, and it's a sad thing we had to sell the farm, but we grew up next to what is New Albany, Ohio, which is one of the richest counties or towns in America.
Right.
It's everything. Every house is.
I did hear about Ohio having like a spot where it's like nothing but super politicians and shit. They be buying their houses there.
Money. Wow.
Yeah.
So it's a guy called Les Wexner who doesn't have the best rep nowadays because he was affiliated with
doing everything.
What's his face? The guy.
The Sting guy.
Yeah. Epstein. But Wexner owns Victoria's Secret, the Limited brand, Bath and Body Works, all those huge kind of brands in that Abercrombie, Hollister, like that whole thing is all in New Albany.
All the headquarters.
Yes. The headquarters for Abercrombie and Hollister is in New Albany. So New Albany, I'm just kind of ranting now, but
I'm pointing out. I really,
exactly.
We gotta learn where you're from.
Yeah, exactly. So New Albany is wild because Les Wexner, he would buy new property, as he would expand, he would put a white fence around the outside of whatever property he bought.
So
when you would always see the white fences moving, and my grandpa always said, when the white fences get here, you got to sell. You have to sell because what they do is, if you don't sell, they build the fence around it. And then your property's worth like pretty much nothing. So there's a couple of the houses that you see that had the white fence coming. Then the white fence would go around, and it's all mansions around. And then there's this other small house. Exactly. So they held out and didn't sell, which is fine because it's their property. Right. But at the same time, now their property value is actually lower. Yes, because it's not. Nobody wants to move into that house. They want the $1 million houses in that area. So that was the interesting thing.
Back in, you could be like, well, fuck you. If you want to build $1 million house here, pay me that money.
That's pretty much what a lot of people did. But they held out almost too long to the point where it's
now worthless and we've lost the interest.
Yeah, because you're not a part of
you're not in
you're in New Albany, but you're not in New Albany. You're not. But New Albany it's a beautiful town. So once those white fences got closer and closer, we ended up having to sell. So it was a thing where we probably would have loved to hang on to Kelly's Acres longer and be a part of like our family heritage and everything, but they're going to build a development now, so it's crazy.
Right.
And then a part of the deal,
beautiful butterflies. I'm sorry. Look at this beautiful butterflies enjoying the breeze.
You never know. Yeah, the hummingbird.
It's
stuff.
the
hummingbird.
To get a
we have a hummingbird named Ralph.
I need to try.
I like the name Ralph.
So I can take pictures.
But yeah, so we ended up having to sell the farm this year.
Yeah.
This past year. So that was where I was like, you know what? Let me kind of like.
That's a bummer, man, because having farmland is the true rich land.
It's crazy.
Here you can feed, you can live. So it's like, but you can also live in this day and age by selling some shit, making a lot of money and reflipping shit.
That's it. Using that money to invest in something else. Yep. What's the next chapter of our family? And it's not.
What was the turning point chapter for you? Because growing up in such, it sounds like your family has some rich family history, some rich family traditions and values.
Yeah.
And some things that y'all hold near and dear to your heart. Clearly, you're across the world, across the country. Something near and dear to home that was in your kitchen.
Yeah.
what was the turning point that made you say I wanted to get out of there? Like, where did you first go out of Ohio, and what made you make that change?
Yeah, so I was 20. Let's see, I went to Orlando at 20.
For the record, how old are you now?
37.
Okay,
yeah,
he's not that fucking old, guys. He's talking like he's.
I think age is
just enough.
It's a concept.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I've been around for 37 years.
You look 25, motherfucker. I'm not gonna lie to you. You look 25. I check a lot of IDs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people be my age, and I'm like, God damn.
Moisturizers.
What are you doing?
Every morning,
bro?
every night, you need a nighttime routine.
Whatever you're doing, stop.
You need a morning.
Old as fuck, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you good, bro. He got a 10 on me, but you look great.
I appreciate you, brother. Yeah. Somebody told me that I moisturize your skin. Every morning, every night, drink a shitload of water.
Yeah, actually, real what he does.
Yeah.
God damn.
So I left Ohio at 20, went to Orlando, had no clue what I wanted to do with my life, but I was working at Disney. I worked at all the golf courses.
Okay.
So I was just kind of just floating around, figuring it out. I liked music, but I had written like a couple songs, didn't really know what I was doing, didn't have an idea. I actually got accepted to University of Hawaii at Manoa.
Nice.
So I was going to move to Hawaii. I was going to go to school, become a nutritionist, figure it out from there. That was the plan. And then I moved home from Orlando. I was about 21. And then I started making music with a friend of mine named Josh Becker. And we called him 8-4. He was like a producer back in the day in Ohio and in Columbus, like underground.
Oh,
we had like
shit.
records.
Yeah, it laid the foundation, ass nigga.
It was cool, man. And so he lived in this farmhouse, this like old farmhouse, and they had a old barn in the back, and they built a studio. So we like, it was very like early. It was just very early like development, and I have some of the videos and stuff from that, but developmental moments like the studio was covered in McDonald's cup holders, the cardboard
soundproof OG shit.
We went. I remember so specifically. I remember going to the. I think it was either McDonald's or Taco Bell, but it was one of the fast food places, and I was like, I saw a big ass stack of.
For the grab,
yeah, and we did it like 3 or 4 times to get enough of these things to soundproof. Right. And I have the pictures somewhere. I have to find them and send them to you. But yeah, we soundproofed it out, and then I would just go sit and watch them make music. I just didn't know that I had it in me. I knew I had it in me, but I didn't know when the moment was I was gonna like share it. Cause I'm like, all right, I sing in the shower, I'm writing stuff. I know I can do this. And then there was a moment where they were like, somebody was singing or somebody was rapping something. They're like, I wish somebody could like sing this. And I'm like, I kind of sing. I kind of have like tone. I'm not a good singer.
Yeah, got me hop in the booth, gang.
Yeah, and I just jumped in, and then it was kind of one of those moments where it was like, that wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't great.
Like, wait a minute.
It wasn't great, but it was not bad. Yeah. And like, so I think something clicked in him where he kind of saw like, this kid's got some. He's actually the person that called me nuts. So this was 2000, I don't even know, 2008, 9. But yeah, he used to always be like, Notes, you're up. Like when it was my turn to rap and stuff. He just always continuously called me Notes. And then that's where Ryan Notes kind of came from. So I went back to Ohio, and then I fell in love with music. I fell in love with the concept. I love concepts. I love writing like, something that has almost like a start, a middle, and a finish. I'm not just like saying words, but I'm telling a story that like has a crescendo and a climax. And it's like the same way as a filmmaker, takes you on a journey. I like to do that through music. So I really fell in love with the process of songwriting. And then I moved to New York City. Okay. I was like, big dreams, big city.
Let's do it.
I'm from a small town. I'm going to go make it. If you make it here, you can make it anywhere type vibes.
Right.
And,
facts, though.
And facts. And it was such a blast. I spent pretty much all my 20s in New York City, and I had a 7-piece band. I was performing all the time. I put out like 4 projects.
Okay.
Just had a blast, and like, yeah, I might not be like some household name yet or whatever, but like,
off your talent.
Oh my God. I had the amount of just like experiences I had in music that were why I went there. Like I did it. I checked it, and I was there for about 8.5 years.
Nice.
And, that's Brooklyn, Queens. We lived in the Upper West Side for a little while.
What's your favorite spot and like your favorite borough?
Probably Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn really just had like my heart. That was the first 7 years I was there. So I started off in Park Slope, which some people probably hate this, Park Slope. Cause it's like kind of like the Disneyland.
Whatever, nigga.
It's like the hardest part of Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yo, whatever, you got it.
But then I moved to Bed-Stuy, and when I was in Bed-Stuy, that was
do or die.
Yeah, I was just out in the thick of it.
Right.
Like, but I really felt this like welcoming, like love in the city, especially in Brooklyn. I just felt like, I think I mentioned that to you that LA is a little different, where I feel at home here very much, but like in New York, I just felt like I never felt unsafe. I felt like very welcomed in a lot of situations that might not have been for me.
I'll be feeling unsafe in Chicago, but welcomed at the same time.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting way to put it, but
shit, Chicago, wow. Yeah, you do, cause like Chicago is a really like.
It's beautiful.
It's just, you know what? I think the main difference is Chicago folks, excuse me, call you out on whatever weird shit it is. Like there's no like, just looking and just keep it moving. Like, nah, you feel me? So it's like,
you're gonna hear what I gotta say.
Yeah, gee, that's kind of like how I be seeing it when I'm around other places. Cause here, it's like, y'all just didn't see this weird shit just happen. Like,
yeah,
you feel me? Everybody's just like,
yeah, so people are kind of in their own little
in their own bubble.
Yeah,
and in
your
Chicago,
bubble is this big in LA.
It's
like, if we bump bubbles, like, can your bubble help my bubble? No? All right, well, then I'm going to keep it moving.
Now, in Chicago, like, people be in their own world. We see a lot of fucked up shit on the daily, so it kind of gets like that to a point.
Yeah.
But then it's also just like, motherfuckers just gonna say what they gonna say.
Yeah.
It's always, it's never just like, I think people in Chicago just lead with what they're gonna say first. So that's the main thing. Like, everybody here is more quiet first. We're in Chicago, people just gonna say whatever they're gonna say, even if they're just being friendly. So like here, it's like, I'm noticing we're being more friendly first to people. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like, hey, how you doing?
Ohio,
You walking past people, hey, how are you? How you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas like in Chicago, people, you know, you always get that nod. You know, people say hi, you know what I'm saying? People compliment you if you look good. They don't, you know, don't nobody hold their tongue.
It's almost like people are trying to stay out of the way here in a sense.
Exactly.
Because one, I don't know, it's almost like you don't want to open up the can of worms sometimes.
Type shit, but Chicago, the whole thing is
don't want to. Yes.
You feel me?
And the other thing is here you don't know who anybody is too, right? So you say, I think people are a little timid and maybe afraid because like if you say something, spout off to somebody, that person could be the one that's doing your audition next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, you don't know who anybody is in this city, so you got to kind of be mindful of like, okay, wait, let me just like figure out the lay of the land.
Now in Chicago,
so
it's a lot of like precaution too, because you don't know who you're talking to. Somebody's cousin could be a real killer. Even the whites, it's a mob city. People forget this. It's a lot of Italians. There's a lot of fucking Polacks. It's deep rooted shit in there that's like, you can't fuck with the money. You can't fuck with somebody's damn daughter. You can't fuck with the heir of the family business and a lot of shit.
Exactly.
So it's like sometimes, but that's the thing is like, it's a lot of underground money in Chicago.
Yeah.
You feel me? So nobody gives a fuck because they all know somebody just as deep into the same shit you know. You feel me? So the blacks know somebody deep rooted into some killing shit. The Italians know somebody deep rooted into some mob shit. So it's like you can't talk to just any, but they do it because they got that real backing. Like everybody in Chicago got a gun. Everybody in Chicago got access to it. Everybody knows somebody that's willing to shoot. So it's like, it's actually like that.
Yeah.
You feel me? Whereas here, it's like, I don't know who the fuck around here. Like, you see, you know, you say, otherwise. So now let me ask you a real question. Because for me as a guy from Chicago, I guess maybe because I'm in a big city already, what was it for you that just made you, or was it just that had that courage to be like, fuck it, I'm out?
For me, honestly, I just feel like there was no other option.
What made you feel like it was no other option?
I think the fact that, like, I've always been kind of, like, pretty decent at everything I did. Okay. But for some reason, music is the thing that, like, made me feel right. Like, if I'm not writing music, I, like, that's if I'll get more depressed or, you know what I mean? Like, the problems that I'll have, like, if I'm writing music, everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
that's
important. That's what you need to find in life. Like, to find that in life is a blessing. Maybe for you, it's podcasting, building businesses, and
for me, it's like weed. As long as I'm smoking a joint and enjoying my little piece, that moment, that's when I'm thinking.
And that's beautiful. And that's what you need to find in life is what is right. And you almost can't lead with expecting what the outcome is going to be. You have to do it to do it.
Yeah.
I have to be willing to do this and put in the work, and it might take me 5 years. It might take me 10 years. It might take me 25 years. Some people are 50 years old, 60 years old before they make it, before the hit comes, you know? Even there's like these artists now that are blowing up on TikTok that made records 30 years ago.
Even actors.
And then now they're going number one. It's amazing. Yeah. So it's like, you have to find that thing in your life that gives you a reason to get up out of bed in the morning, right? And I think that was what it was for me. I felt like there was no other option. I was like, I'm just going to do music. This is why I'm put on this earth. Like, and this sounds fucking crazy, but I went to a psychic one time in New York City. Nothing. Wearing this outfit. And I was like, I had margaritas. I'm like, let's do it. I walked in and she was like, she made my friend leave the room. She was like, you need to leave the room. Like, what I'm about to say is so powerful. It's really good. And she was like, and I need you to tell me that you're okay with me telling you whatever. And I was like, bring it on. Let's do it. So my friend left and she looked me in my eyes. And she said, you put in the work. You focus more on your music than on the women in your life. The world. I'll never forget it like it was yesterday. And I was like, wait, what? I'm like, how do you know I do music first off? And she was like, cause it's written in your palm. When I look at your palm, it literally says that you're destined to be a musician. I didn't say anything when I walked into this session. It was my friend Kelly Snyder. We on purpose kept our mouths quiet because we didn't want to like give a hint. I didn't have like a Ryan Notes merch shirt on. I was just regular Joe. And she was like, it's written in your destiny that the world will know your name. And so that moment was like kind of a big one, but like those are the reasons I like have been willing to just keep at it and like keep pushing and keep going, you know. And there's been times where I've taken steps back where I like, okay, I'm going to be just a songwriter. I'm not going to like be an artist. But then the game changes too. Now the game is so different between streaming, you know, most artists are really making merch. The money's not there like
TikTok and shit like that.
Yeah, like you really got to be like a creator now. So where I took a step back to be like, I'm a songwriter and just chill in the back and let somebody else do it. I got friends that are very successful songwriters with publishing deals that are asking me, hey, do you have any catering gigs that I can help out there and make a couple extra bucks? And it's like, it's a sad state that these industries in right now where a songwriter back in the day, I met a guy maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I was doing sales. Yeah. On the side. I've had 40 jobs in my life. 50 jobs.
However you get it.
And however, I'm down.
However you get it. No cap.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I was doing sales for a little bit, and this guy I was, selling to, he was a songwriter. Mm-hmm. And he had written an album cut on a song set. And he had bought his house. The down payment on his house came from that song. He's like, I made 65 grand off of an album cut on an album that didn't even make the Billboard Top 100. You know, like it was like, just kind of like a obscure album that got released on a label, but he made 65 grand. Oh. That's not how it is anymore. Yeah. I've done stuff for, and I won't give away too much information, but I've done stuff for streaming shows that went top 5 of all streaming on major streaming platforms. Yeah. And that comes with my deals, like I could always, but the problem that we're seeing nowadays, if you don't want to do it, somebody else. Yeah. And somebody else will do it for free.
100%.
So if you don't want the $350 that we're offering, which is, hell yeah, $350 better than nothing. You know what I mean? But like, it's the opportunities that back in the day could have changed the trajectory of your life. Yeah. Now you're having to really fight and scrap and claw, and you gotta get more creative. Yeah. In your approach. So yeah. I know that was a roundabout way to say.
No. You're making perfect sense because it's the thinking method that you have. It's what I'm paying attention to because, you're a real bootstrap guy. You know what I'm saying? You were born on the farm. You understand how to get it out the mud, literally. So, exactly. When you get a wake up call, you're not the one to just shy away from it. But at the same time, you're real analytic. So you don't just jump into things without making sure that things are A, done right, or B, thought out. You know what I'm saying?
That's very, very accurate.
And I totally understand that because my coach once told my basketball coach in high school, I won 2 state championships in high school.
Oh, love. What sport?
Basketball.
Oh, nice.
And my coach once told me, this was after practice, I'm putting my shoes on, and my coach was a shit talking ass coach. Yeah. So you know how like we are in our group chat and virus talk shit. Yeah. So
Talk about the group
so I'll
chat
go
at some
do.
point, too.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a minute because I'm gonna get onto that.
Yeah.
But you see how he tries to talk shit, and then I'll go do some loud shit. Just like, bro, fuck you. You're not talking to nobody who doesn't do shit. That's how I do. You feel me? But my coach once said to me, he was like, "You be a good motherfucker, but you think too much. You're too goddamn smart. You know, fucking play." And for years, I've thought about this one sentence, but it made sense. It was never me just moving off instinct. It was always me just like over analyzing and thinking everything because that's just how I was like bred to move. That's how I was
that's
like,
been
you
something
feel
I've
me?
struggled with for a very long time. You know what they call that?
What?
Paralysis through analysis.
Oh fuck yeah! Like you stop because you overly That's
paralysis
real
through
shit.
analysis, and I had it for years and years.
That's real shit. But the difference between me and most of my teams, I went to one of the hoodest high schools in Chicago, top hood high school, top hood high school. All of my teammates was hood as fuck. I came from a suburb high school.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I seen a lot of different shit and I didn't have to act and instinctively act a certain way. You feel me? So I would always go into situations, analyze it, and that's what bred like who I am. You feel me? Like being able to think through situations.
Put a little bit of that.
Just need a sprinkle. You know? Let me think before I
acting on emotion and
exactly.
They can catch up.
You feel me? But basketball, the game of basketball, it's a firm mix of like 50-50 IQ, 50-50 instinct. You feel me? Yeah. I was moving like 75 IQ, 25 instincts, and that ain't how it works. You feel what I'm saying?
Great analogy,
So
you gotta find that balance.
It's the same with like your music. You gotta be 50% raw, great talent, or working at your talent, and I would say 50% talent. So like you said, you went in the studio with your mans, and he was like, man, you got something.
Mm-hmm.
But that other 50% is your analysis. What's your approach? How you gonna do it? What's your character? What's your thing? What's your movement? Your ego? What is you as notes?
Yeah.
What he gave you? He gave you notes. Feel me? You went in the booth as Ryan. He gave you notes, and then that's how you move. So when you went into the thing with the lady, she like, yo, nigga, you got something for real. Lock in. You feel me?
Yeah, and that's the kicker. It's that other 50% is the most important thing too, because I can't tell you the most talented people I've come across in my life.
Yeah.
That will never make it.
Yeah.
And then I've come across people with a drop of their talent that will make it because of just pure determination, right?
You know,
and pure willingness. The big one that I'm learning now, especially like this opportunity is amazing to sit and chat with you, but willingness to say yes is very important.
Yep.
If you're saying no and again, overanalyzing or thinking too much, you're going to miss your blessings.
You're going to miss that motherfucker, boy.
Yeah.
God give you a piece of this motherfucker. You got to see what's up, man. Like, it ain't
box door. You
got to walk through it.
Yeah.
I use basketball for every analogy. Kevin Durant, when he got drafted, he said, hard work beats talent. And talent does not work hard. So your statement is going to be true forever.
Yep.
We back in, man. We finally got the audio bussing. You know what I'm saying? We had to get a new SD card. Something happened with the format technology during travels. Y'all know how the fuck it go. But we back in. We look the butterfly. Look at that.
Butterfly is back. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The butterfly is back.
Whoa.
That's a creepy one.
Oh yeah. Every time I talk about aliens, that's the new sound.
Okay.
We back in. We sound great.
Now we sound good.
Yeah, we sound great.
Listen, this is
great.
Technology is a beautiful thing.
I love it, but
technology will sneak up on you. So you know the amount of times I recorded the best
shit in the
best verse of my entire life.
It wasn't meant to be.
We played it back. Everything was perfect. I was like, this is the one that's going to change my life. And then computer crashes.
So then let's move on that point, man, because you know we've been interacting for a year and some change or whatever it may be now, just via phones and being connected.
And this is our first time meeting.
This is our first time meeting. This is our very first time meeting in person, guys. Shout out Byron West for putting this together, just linking the chain and putting a good weld on it. But you've always been very positive. Like I feel like no funny shit though, but like you on some big bro shit to me, G, because
let's go.
You feel me? Like obviously the way you see how me and Byron's talk in the chat.
Yeah.
You know, we go head to head and shit sometimes, you know, and then you be coming in like, hey, oh, shut the fuck up.
Hey, stay focused. You got to stay focused on the task at hand.
And then, you know what, we can't do shit but be like, man, you know what, fuck it. Yeah, we got to be focused. You know, this nigga's right. What are you going to say? You feel me? But you got this like positive aura about you. That's the new word, I guess, niggas use aura.
Yeah.
You got this positive aura about you. So while we talking about just moving along, chugging along, like we ran into an audio issue, what's been some of the just trials and tribulations that you have had? I know you talked about going to New York and checking your boxes.
Yeah.
But as an artist, what are those real trials and tribulations that you have had? And that's what's really propelling you to keep going. You know what I mean?
I mean, as an artist, it's the biggest one is always just the self-talk, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's self-doubt, whether it's kind of building yourself up. Like, I am a big advocate. Like, you look in that studio there, I got, 50, 75 books. Like, I've read all these books, and I used to study a lot on the human mind and how that little voice inside your head, that's the narrator, right?
Yeah.
When you're watching a movie, it could be the same scene, but if the narrator says something different, it could be the guy walking in his house and the narrator's like, his day's starting so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Or he could be like, around the next corner, he's going to get stabbed. The narrator determines kind of the outcome of how a situation plays, right? So at all times, that little voice in our head is speaking.
Yeah.
I'm not out here saying that I'm perfect or I'm always happy. I go through depression, I go through all this stuff, but you have to, one, control the narrator.
Yeah.
And then two, you got to be willing, like the way we met is mainly through this group chat that we have.
Yeah.
Health Haven, fitness group chat.
Shout out to Haven.
Every day we're in there chatting, posting our goals, our achievements. You have to be able to control the narrator too, because sometimes the voice isn't going to go away.
Yeah.
You got to be able to not listen. So like with me, this year I ran the marathon. That was huge for me. That was like a big achievement in my life. That's something I never thought I could do.
Yeah,
ever,
same.
Ever.
Even just running those few 5, 6, 7.
And your progression has been amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Like I remember seeing you put up like a 15-minute mile.
Yeah.
And what are you down to like?
I'm down to 10. I'm in the 10s now. Yeah, I'm locked in.
I remember the same exact thing.
I'm like pushing under 10 now.
You're in the 9s.
Yeah.
And so I remember the moment I wanted to do it, my sister was talking shit to me through text. I love my sister. She's one of my best friends. Morgan, she's the homie. She's
probably
the
a
marathon.
pain in your ass.
She's the best. She's like me. I raised her,
You know what I'm saying?
But she ran the marathon, and then she was like, hey, we're going to run a half marathon. And I could run 0 miles at that point. 0.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's almost like in my head, the narrator was like, you can't do this, bro. There's no way. You can't run 13.1 miles.
Yeah.
So it's not possible. Like, look, you can't even run a mile.
Yeah.
But then something else, that other side had to take over and go, fuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I ain't listening to you.
Your two shoulders.
Yeah. Like if I always think about it like this, if someone talked to me the way that I talk to myself, sometimes I wouldn't be friends with that person. You know what I mean? And so you got to pick and choose your friends. Sometimes you need to tell the narrator to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. And that's what I did in that moment. And so the other big thing is once you set goals and achieve goals, the world opens up.
Opens right the fuck up, doesn't it?
Because the accountability with yourself is an unbelievable thing. And you're probably experiencing this now.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
You've done it in business and you've done it in with the podcast and other things, but fitness is another step.
Fuck that. I've done it in life.
You've done it in so much. Yeah,
I've done it in life.
Once you do it with fitness, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Because then you actually start to feel better, too.
You feel
mentally,
better, yeah.
physically.
You realize you were wasting time. You were bullshitting. You were eating right. You were treating the one thing you actually own like a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the biggest wake-up call, is to realize you were treating the one thing on this planet
powerful.
that
that's
you
really
own
powerful.
like a piece of shit. And you can go out, you can go to work and you treat all your customers and the people you work with, you treat them like God. You treat them like, you're a servant to the world. And then when you get home, you just treat yourself like a fucking peasant.
Yeah, you've given it all away.
And you just give, and it's like, we've learned together, I feel, that we had to start prioritizing ourselves more. So, it's just crazy how the world kind of works into a thing where you kind of realize like you had to start talking to yourself, but then you help motivate people like me who had to realize like, yo, you got to lock in with yourself to be able to give more to other people.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, and you need to surround yourself. I think this is in all aspects of life, but you have to surround yourself with people who are like the people you want to be like.
That's true too.
You
Very
know,
true.
that it's an age-old saying, oh, your top 5 people around you are who you're going to become.
Yeah.
It's pretty true.
It's true.
Like, I mean, and especially with the group chat, you know,
Yeah.
we're in a health group chat.
Yeah, let's talk about the group chat.
Yeah, most
'Cause
people are in
motherfuckers hear
group
us talking-
chats. Well, most people are in group chats that are sending memes, talking shit, and don't get me wrong, I'm in those too. I love my HBCOG, my Handsome Boys Club of Gentlemen is what we call it.
Yeah, we got it.
And then we send memes, we talk shit. It's hella fun. Love it.
Yeah.
But yin and yang, right?
Yep.
Balance in life. I need the shit talk group chat, but I love the fact that I have, right? That's meaning
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I had a fucking pine drop in my
there
drink.
you
What a time in California.
Hey, you're outdoors, baby.
Natural
Listen,
fucking I love this.
It's their world. We're just
Dude, I
living in
love
it.
this
It's
interview.
nature's
I
world,
fucking
yeah.
love this right now.
But you need balance. So the balance for me is that group chat when I wake up every day and I see that you ran, 3 miles. Virus did 9 workouts before 8 a.m.
Fucking 8. Well, like, yeah,
He
what
did
the fuck is wrong with
700
dude?
push-ups and lifted the Eiffel
Nigga
Tower
fighting
above
real
his head.
demons,
Yeah.
bro.
But seeing that every morning when I wake up, that's the difference between me rolling over and getting on my phone and starting scrolling
Facts.
before I even get out of bed, and those small habits, I will say that, and again, I have a long way to go,
Yeah.
but
We're not David Goggins by any means.
No, but man, we working towards it,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And I changed my morning routine and my nighttime routine. I know I talked about that earlier, but I pretty much have the same morning routine and nighttime routine every day. Sometimes I'm going away from it if I, been out or something, but like I try to get the same sleep. I leave my phone across the room.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge for me. My phone's not by my bed.
Yeah,
where
you're
I can roll over.
growing, bro.
Yes. I have an alarm clock that wakes up with natural light over like a 15-minute window. Like I had to figure out what the things that were holding me back were. Because there was like a year or two ago, I did have like a little spell where I was just kind of depressed and sad, and I was still making music, but you could even hear it in my music. If you go back and listen to the songs from that time, everything was like, oh Lord, is this guy okay?
Yeah.
But and then I had to really change my habits, and once you do that, it kind of transcends into all aspects of your life. All of a sudden, everything else starts to work out.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, shit, it was me the whole time.
And when you get like conscious and shit, you start learning about like. I know you. I'm not, bro. Y'all don't say no weird shit to me because Chicago niggas be on 10 with niggas.
Yeah.
But you start hearing big ass truck. God damn.
Right.
Fuck. Fucking up
wait
the
until
ozone,
the motorcycle
nigga.
comes through
Right.
at 4 a.m.
But you start learning about vibrations,
Telling you.
and when you start learning about shit like that, you start really realizing you were moving at a very, very low vibration. G.
Spot on. And
It'd
I
be
used to
sick,
when you
right?
hear that when you're in low vibration, you're like, fuck that vibration. shit.
Right.
And then when you
G.
get out of it, you're like, ooh, I
was on a low
was,
vibration, G. Like I was not the same. You feel me? So, doing things like that for me, like when I like, okay, a lot of people don't talk about this on the pod, but we went through a lot together. I got arrested, fighting a pole case, normal Chicago nigga shit, bro. I fell into the same trap, bro. I'm so cognitive of not falling into the trap.
Yep.
But moving at such a low vibration, G. I'm talking about the music I was listening to.
Oh.
The people
Super
I was
important.
around, G. Like it's like nowadays, bro, I don't even ride with music because, and if I do, it's oldies. Look at how I'm fucking dressing.
Yeah.
Because everything else is just carries such a low. This is cotton, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't
And
polyester.
It's 85 degrees outside.
But I'm carrying
And you
such a
kill-
high
exactly.
vibration. You don't see a drop of sweat on me,
That's
and
it.
I'm
I
drinking
don't.
straight tequila.
I don't.
Half the bottle. I don't. You get what I'm saying?
No, I'm super with you.
We
No.
locked in, and it's a. I'm
And
just
Virus
super-
taught me that a lot. Virus is a big.
Virus is a
We
huge.
really got to
influence.
shout him out.
We got to
and it's funny because I've known Bai for 5 years.
really.
We started doing music together,
Yeah.
and he was a different Virus back then.
Yeah.
He would just fresh from Chicago and LA.
He had to go through the battle, bro.
He did,
You know?
and man, his growth has just been so unbelievable. It's hard to see somebody grow like that and it not be contagious.
It's not. It's not.
Growth
Let me
is
tell you.
contagious.
Let me tell you how I met Virus. This is going to be a true testament to Virus.
Yeah.
When I was playing basketball at my suburban high school, TF South, and I was going into my sophomore year. Now, I made a habitual habit, like a ritual, of being the first one in the gym after school. I would run out of class, change first in the locker room.
Yeah.
And I'd be the first one in the gym so I can shoot free throws. Same with summer camp. I lived a block away from my high school. She knows. She's seen my old place. I was there. Virus lived maybe 10 feet over the train tracks from where I lived, so he could just walk to school the same way I did. And I remember the first day of summer camp, because the freshman camp would come first. Virus is a year younger than me. And he was a freshman. I was a sophomore. The freshman camp would come first, and the sophomores would come after. So me walking into the gym first, I saw this motherfucker 6'1" full-grown man of a specimen. I'm talking about how he looks now. He looked like that as a fucking 14-year-old, G. And this nigga in there shooting free throws. So Chicago me, I'm offended. I'm like, yo.
How dare you?
What the fuck? He told me he was coming in as a freshman. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, good shit. He's like, they asked him to stay to work out. They did the exact same thing to me. So I was on some big bro shit from there. And I'm like, all right, cool. Come shoot with me, little nigga. You feel me? And ever since then, we got cool. We walked home. We ended up finding out we live next door.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, he's been like locked in. Like, bro, the nigga was the only nigga get up and work out with me. We would walk 6 miles to go to the gym. Like, he was the only one. Not only that nigga ran cross country track, set records for the school, like all type of shit. You know, so the way he is now is 100% how he was before. Yeah. So big shout out to Virus. He's just a knucklehead. You know what I'm saying? He's a spoiled little nigga. You feel me? Nah, real shit. He's spoiled.
Talented, bro.
But he's definitely very talented, very smart.
Yeah, he's one of those people that's so funny.
He one of those you need on your team. You know what I'm saying? Because he gonna think about it, but he also run through that wall. You feel what I'm saying? That's a nigga you need on your team 100%. So shout out Virus putting us together, putting that Health Haven group chat together.
Yeah, and look out for Health Haven, right? Because
we coming, growing, nigga. Y'all know me. Look
growing.
at me, man.
It's gonna become
I got
bigger.
mouths to feed. We are gonna feed them. The Health Haven is coming. Talk to me about what health has done for you, though, man. Let's talk about it because that's something big in our lives. Just talk to me about what your goals were, especially when we met, and how that has just transcended you. Even later in life. I mean, you're not old, nigga, but you older than me.
No,
shit.
I am older in the scheme of things. Like, I think that life can catch up to you real quick.
Don't it?
Real quick. Like,
I'm 27. It caught up to me fast, but
yeah, I just think
I had to make a decision.
You have to make decisions sometimes, and you have to make them and draw a line in the sand and be willing to sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
And that was me. I mean, I was. Let's see, I'm about 157 now. I was 185 at one point. So that's almost 30 pounds. Like, and I don't wear it like I didn't get big or anything, but I just was unhealthy. Yeah. I was unhealthy. Like, I was eating whatever I wanted. And, when you're young, you got the metabolism, and then I was like, oh shit, like I don't have that as much anymore. Yeah, and so you have to draw a line in the sand sometimes. So I think again, setting goals and achieving them, it's like laying the brick, right? I'm obsessed with that Will Smith quote about one brick at a time, right?
Yeah.
The
brick
quote,
by brick.
Don't worry about building the wall. His dad told him they had to build this wall for a garage, and you don't worry about building the wall. You worry about laying one brick, right? And then once that brick is laid perfect, then you lay the next brick. And that was what health did for me, because it really was like, training for the marathon. It was like, all right, I need to run 3 miles today. And I had on my calendar all my runs for the next 3 months lined out. And I would cross them out.
David Goggins on your fucking door.
Yeah, I had Goggins every morning when I would turn my light on. And the thing, he was looking at me with the date of the marathon.
I remember. Yeah, you were locked in.
Yep. And so now it's like, knowing that that's possible, it's easier to make better decisions when you've already proved to yourself that you can. And you don't know that you can until you do it. That's the thing. But it's, again, you talked about low vibration. Like, I almost have this like supervisor in my head now. Yeah. Whereas before I would be like, all right,
it's David Goggins.
Home. Taco Bell sounds nice. I'm thinking about the cheesy gordita crunch and I got Virus on this shoulder and I got Goggins over here.
It's Virus.
And they're both doing push-ups and they're like, brother, do not stop. The Mountain Dew's going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Like, trust me, it's Virus every time for me now. It's
and you need, if you don't have those people in your life, it's accountability. I think accountability is the key to life.
Yeah.
If you hide in the background and nobody knows what you're doing, you could just do whatever. You can lay on the couch all day, order Domino's, and I had those times, but it's momentum. Momentum can go bad or it can go good. If you're in a bad run and you keep doing bad things, you're just going to keep digging the hole. You're going to get deeper and deeper. But
you know what? Just like you get older and learn about vibrations, you learn about momentum. And you learn about
everything.
You learn about the value of not stopping your momentum.
Yeah.
Because when you're young, like you said, you have less responsibilities.
Yeah.
Your health is good. You feel good all the time just because the sun is bringing you up, and your body's at the peak. You're doing it. But when you get older, you learn that momentum counts because you can't rebuild it as easy as you could.
Oh my God,
you get what I'm saying?
Double the amount of work.
It takes triple the amount of work. You get what I'm saying? So
I used to just do 10 push-ups, and I'd be like, I'm back.
I'm knocked in.
Back, baby.
You get pumped and shit. You look in the
I
mirror.
would go
like,
out drinking, have 15 drinks.
You see what I'm saying? Now
eat terribly. New York pizza slices. Do 20 push-ups. I'm back.
I'm locked in. You know what I'm saying? Now motherfuckers is like, bro, if I don't stretch 3 times a day,
I got to do my morning yoga.
I have to like literally, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, you gotta follow that momentum.
Yeah,
G,
momentum's everything. I text people that all the time when somebody tells me about their win. Like my buddy told me, he's a stand-up comedian. My friend Lou Miziano, he had a really great set the other night and just was kind of just talking about, like his wins. And I just wrote, there's a hummingbird again.
Look, there you go.
So
Ralphie.
cool. Ralph.
Bro, it's so cool to see a fucking hummingbird.
Yeah.
From Chicago, we don't see shit.
All right.
You know
But I told him momentum. That's what I write back. I just write momentum. Like, keep the freaking momentum going. Like, you got one win.
Yeah.
You just tacked off one.
Yeah.
Like, the work doesn't stop. That's the crazy thing. Like, even like with the project, right?
Yeah.
I put the project out, and then I was like, oh shit, now I gotta work.
I
just put in,
You literally said the real work starts
the
now.
real work starts now. I put a little post up about that because it's funny because Kelly's Acres Right was a 5-year process. It was about 5 years ago when I wrote my first country song. I was like, because when I moved to New York, I was doing R&B. I was in the hip hop world. I'm doing pop. I was doing a lot of genres. There was a moment where it was like, you are going to be Robin Thicke.
Type beat.
Get it together.
Yeah, no.
Put on the suit jacket with the V-neck.
That's not a bad model to follow.
And I love R&B is always going to have my soul, But I grew up on a farm, and I grew up listening to country. I grew up listening to Alan Jackson and Tim McGraw and Clint Black, and those were my dad's guys, and I'm listening to. That's what I grew up on, but I also grew up on other things too. Like I grew up on all genres, but I was like, I wonder what it'd be like if I wrote a country song. I'd never done it, but I'd been writing music for 10 years. And then I wrote,
and country music.
Yeah, and the first song on my project, Reunion, was the first country song I ever wrote. I was like, one for one. I was like, all right, well, this was rad. And then what I realized is that in country, it's the story is the star.
Yeah.
In hip hop and sometimes I think in R&B the melody's the star. I think in hip hop the beat is the star a lot of times, like the production, and then you really got to have melody too. And obviously the lyrics matter so much in hip hop. Lyrics, but versus story. In country, the story. It's like they just want to know. It's like telling a tale.
What are you going through?
The lyrics matter in hip hop. The story matters in country. If that makes sense. Because I don't want to take away from hip hop and say that the lyrics don't matter. But I think lyrics versus story.
Because in country music, I'll hear country music. I've tried to listen to all. I actually love fucking rock music. G. I have a number of fucking bands I love. G. Like I'll go through the Rolodex.
Yeah.
But with country music, I did notice it don't always fucking rhyme, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But you make in total sense because the story matters, and I'm so rap culture central, nigga. Like I'm like, nigga, why it's not rhyming? It's poetry, nigga. Like, but it's not. It's a story. You feel me? So that makes total sense.
Because they want you to feel in that moment that lyric not rhyming was overshadowed by that story being told that exact way.
Exactly.
And
that makes sense.
So that's when I started writing country. I was like, oh God, I love this. It just felt like home. And and I still, I'm always gonna do R&B. I'm always gonna do hip hop. I'm always gonna do
you're a
pop.
singer, bro.
I'm gonna do all genres, but country just I really felt like at home, And then now country's having this amazing resurgence where it's taken over, and it's really cool in music right now. I feel like that all genres are kind of blending, right? Pop is country is hip hop at times. And that all comes back from the old Nelly and Tim McGraw when they kind of blended and did that Over and Over Again song.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden people are like, wait a second. We can get out of our lanes a little bit, Can you turn me back up? There we go, a little bit. So I just think that it's really cool how genres are blending now, and
Yeah.
people are more open to having discussions around. We're all in the same game. We're all just making music, you know. And there's less kind of lines in the sand, which has just been cool. So
Yeah. So now, when you were coming up making music and shit, obviously Robin Thicke, you said, obviously like that. Who are some of those like influences and shit that really got you like, just maybe like into music? Some people that you might be like listen to a lot, like some of your artists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what got you into your mode?
I was the Michael Jackson kid when I was
Fire.
a kid.
Fire.
I was dancing to my like grandma,
Fire.
watch me do this dance, you know, and like then that transitioned into Usher. Then I was
Fire.
like, Usher's my like for me.
No Diddy.
Confessions is
yeah.
top 3. It's like a perfect
That's top.
album.
That's top.
It's like a perfect
That's top.
album. Yeah.
That's top.
And then I
Hey, that's
really,
a good take, bro. God damn.
it's a perfect album. Everything.
That's
yeah.
a good take,
Yeah.
bro.
It's a perfect album.
Get that
To
nigga
me.
his flowers. No Diddy.
Truly. And then no Diddy. And then I liked Ryan Leslie a lot. I don't know if you know who Ryan Leslie is.
I know who it is,
Yeah.
but I ain't never listened to him.
I got into him, just the production. And Ryan Leslie's really cool because he was one of the first like content creators.
Really?
Yes. If you go on YouTube in like 2011 or 12, there's a video. There's so many videos of him, but he would make beats on camera, record it, edit it. How everybody's doing now, he was doing so long ago.
Yeah.
Like even one time he ordered like a mini trumpet to his house, express delivery, and he had like a black card, and he's like American Express black card, you know, and it was like
talking
cool
shit.
as hell.
Like, yeah,
it was
flexing.
so cool, but it was content, and that's what people didn't understand at the time. And so I did that for a long time. I had back in the day, I had like a vlog. It was called Music or Bust, daily life vlog. But yeah, but then like I always loved like clips, like even like Lord Willin' to me is a perfect album. I always loved them. I just there's so many influences. Like I used to listen to a lot of James Brown. Like you say, Tim McGraw is probably my favorite artist of all time.
Okay.
Tim McGraw, to me, I can almost sing word for word like his entire catalog. Alan Jackson. So it's very eclectic. I'm kind of all over the place.
Yeah. As you should be.
Yeah.
As a human, you should not subject
But
yourself to one.
I've listened to
genre.
everything, and the weird thing too about being a songwriter is like, I would say I don't listen to as much music as people might think.
Yeah.
Like I like listening to music when the time's right, but I'm so constantly like
But I'm
involved
sure
in music.
used to.
Of course,
You
yeah.
feel
of
me?
course, yes.
That's where it gets.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
a lot of times I'm like listening to beats, or I'm listening to my mixes. I'm like even when I'm driving to work, I'm like writing. I'm throwing on instrumentals and trying to write concepts and like, or even sometimes podcasts because I just want to break from music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm constantly.
I think that's
creating.
I honestly think that's because this new music shit is so tasteless.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like we used to hear the instruments. G used
Yeah.
to. You know what I always talk about on my podcast is how the music today is missing that fucking goosebump. When you hear some shit and your fucking hairs raised, nigga, you like fuck, nigga, this
totally.
shit hitting.
Totally.
I can't remember a song that did that to me in a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, TikTok. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it because it's giving people
nothing
this
wrong.
platform.
Yeah.
but the songs are. I mean, back in the day, like I've had songs I've written that were 4.5
5,
minutes long,
13
5,
minutes, man.
yes.
Come on.
I
5
went
minutes, 13
through
seconds.
the journey of someone's life from the moment they were born to the moment they died in
Come
a
on, man.
song. And then nowadays it's like if it's over 2 minutes and 30 seconds, it's like, hey, nobody's gonna listen.
It's
to
view
anything.
numbers, it's stream numbers.
It's like nobody's gonna listen to anything over 2:30. So it is kind of an interest. I think we're gonna have a resurgence. I think we're already kind of almost there.
Everything does.
Where yes, it's like 80s clothes coming back into style or 90s clothes now, but
Or 20s clothes, goddamn it.
yeah, 2020 is crazy. But like styles and all that have resurgence. I just think people are going to be wanting to go deeper
because
in
this
and
shit's
albums
too quick.
too, you know, like
Yeah.
people want to hear singles all the time now, but like a
Fuck
project,
that.
yeah.
We need mixtapes.
Yeah.
We need
I miss the
niggas.
mixtape
Because
era,
why
yeah.
the fuck is niggas not making music for free for the fans?
Mm-hmm.
So y'all, we can go see you perform this song. We can see, like, shout out Wayne, Gucci, all these rappers that we know. I mean, it's only one.
Wiz too. We talked about Wiz
Wiz,
earlier. Wale,
like niggas that
whole-
held, they
yeah.
still the top niggas in the game because of the groundwork they put in.
Totally.
You feel me? It's only a few niggas like Jay-Z who can only drop albums, nigga.
Yeah.
They was generational.
Yeah,
You
totally.
feel me? Like, that's the main difference. You know what I'm saying? Even niggas like we know now, Chief Keef, y'all forgot that nigga dropped so many mixtapes before he was like,
Well, that's the reason he can still come out on stage and
they don't
it's
even get it,
every
bro.
blog in the world is like holy shit, Chief Keef came
But
out
nah,
tonight. And
so
like,
many artists
he
looking
still
for that
has so
dollar
much
real quick.
cultural impact. It's crazy.
The
like,
culture, bro.
yeah.
He put the culture, his culture where he was from. He put all that shit from first. Whatever. Where he was from first. All his culture first. The music first. Developed his sound. Developed his stage appearance. All that shit first. And then we learned who Chief Keef, the global. Now we know he got a fucking genre called drill. Yeah. Now we know the UK biting the style. Now we know New York got their own style. Like, now we know that. Nigga, it's 10 nigga, I was in high school listening to this nigga, bro.
That was
like
probably a wild time.
Nigga, what? I remember the first time hearing somebody coming around saying bang bang. And I'm like, what the, why are you saying this? Like, it was a lady, she bang bang. And I'm like, why are you saying this? I dead ass like, bro, why are you saying this? You keep saying this. And then you ain't never heard Chief Keef. What the hell, bro? I went home.
I had just moved to New York at the time, so I remember like it was yesterday.
Lit, nigga. Everybody was trying to be gangster.
Took over everything, bro.
Everything. You feel me? But it was free music, G.
Yeah.
That was free music. That nigga ain't get paid for that right away.
Yeah, I think I did like I did Music or Bust, Take Notes. No, Take Notes was first, then Music or Bust, and then An American Tragedy, and then
ain't nothing wrong.
So I had like 4 mixtapes that I did. Like,
I honestly don't understand how people call themselves artists and they not dropping music once a month.
Well, and that's a good topic I'd like to get on to.
Yeah, can we talk about why artists are like that?
Setting everything up.
Yeah, this is a great time.
Let's do it.
You start me up, babe? Yeah, we got. Cheers, man. Shout out Ryan Notes, the Session Podcast. Cheers. Your boys owe the Session. Shout out my love for coming to help me out with the camera. This is a great time, man. I really appreciate you, like, just inviting us and letting us come here, bro. We almost did this somewhere I would have not appreciated.
No,
I'll be honest. So
I'm glad to have you guys.
This is awesome. Really, this is awesome. Yeah, but let's talk about
my shot earlier. We did a whole cheers off camera.
Oh no, the camera was rolling.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
Good.
I was like, my bad. I just ripped the shot. Okay. No, that's all good. That was a good one.
Big as hell.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Okay, so let's talk about
the artists not dropping music right away. Let's get through it. Yeah.
If I go on that computer right now, I have about 700 songs.
Yeah.
Done. Like, some of them I will say are like not mixed to capacity, but I'm talking verse, hook, everything, bridge. You get into this mode as an artist where it's very easy to feel accomplished. All right. So I write the song, I send it to my little inner circle of friends and family, and they all respond and go, this shit's fire. This is amazing. As someone who creates, it's very easy for me to feel like I accomplished something.
Okay.
All right. So I had a guy call it one time.
I get like that too.
Yeah. I had a guy call me out on it one time, and he called it, what did he say? He said it's like mental or like creative circle jerking. Because like my buddy sends me his song, and I go, that's fire. Then I send him my song, and he goes, that's fire. Did we accomplish anything?
No.
We accomplished anything because we created art.
Yeah.
But I think it was, I'm going to butcher this quote, but Bob Marley said something along the lines of, not a direct quote, but like the beauty of or the responsibility of an artist is to share. You have to share the work, right? Because
that sounds like some Bob Marley shit.
Yeah, it was some cool shit. And I totally butchered it.
Nigga, you supposed to get the world their wood. Yeah.
Because you have a responsibility. The word responsibility is very important in that sentence because not everybody can sit down and write that story. I'm telling stories and writing music about life events that have happened to me that I know other people have gone through.
100%.
And I'm giving them a soundtrack to that moment. But the responsibility of the artist is to share the work, right? Yeah. So if you're going to be I think he said the selfish of an artist is not to share the work or something like along those lines. But I think that what happens with artists is it's the easy fun part is being in the studio. Hanging out with your friends.
They've accomplished that moment of being the artist in that moment.
Magic moment where you hit the perfect lyric at the perfect time with the perfect melody and everyone in the room goes, oh man. That is the fun part. The hard part is going and shooting content on the street of you singing the song, setting up shows, booking musicians, getting it mixed correctly, paying to get that's where the work begins. And I feel like a lot of artists get overwhelmed by that. They get to the point where they're like, ugh, I'm just going to start working on the next thing because that makes me feel good. And that kind of comes back to us with the fitness stuff.
Yeah.
The easy part is to stop and get fast food again. The easy part is to stay up till 3 a.m. watching YouTube videos or scrolling on TikTok. Mm-hmm. The hard part is to go to bed and then wake up and run 3 miles.
Yep.
So doing the hard part is where it gets you to the the finish line.
Yeah.
Right? I know it's like cheesy and like broad, but like I think
It's
that's
only
why
one recipe to this shit, though.
there's only and you have to be. You said this earlier, and I think it's so important. You have to be willing to start.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
Gotta be willing
not
to go
going
in.
to be perfect.
Yeah.
And then I've had so many moments, and I think I took so much time off of music because I was terrified of it working out.
Yeah.
What
And
if
it
it
not being
does work
perfect.
out?
Yeah.
What if it does work out, and then I have to become the person I'm supposed to be?
You know what?
That scared the shit out of me.
You know what I like to try to like give some of the artists I talk to, because I see a lot of artists that I've interviewed, and I'm like, bro, like I'm a little okay. Maybe I'm a little biased with my own ears, but I've been around music, and I just got an ear for good fucking music.
Yeah.
So if I hear an artist and you got good music, I'll be like, bro, you got great music. You sound good. Why the fuck you not putting this shit out?
Yeah.
And they be giving me, oh, it costs this. Fuck that. Put the music out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Slap a cover art on it and put the music out.
Yep.
A lot of artists don't do it. You know who did do it? Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
You think his music was mixed to capacity?
Oh no, that's
Come on,
the thing.
G.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
No, and the
The
album
motherfucker
artworks-
gave us music for 20 years.
Yeah, and the album artwork was wild.
Wild.
Every time. Wild.
Anybody got a chance to
Just
make Gucci
the
artwork,
crazy-
nigga.
yes,
Whoever.
And then now you look back on it, and those art, it's iconic.
Iconic.
Absolutely iconic.
Iconic.
And at the time, you got him in front of an ice cream truck with doves flying. For some,
Fat
it was,
Gucci. We got skinny
Oh.
Gucci. We got Gucci.
It was
Gucci,
the
Gucci.
best, yeah.
It's
And
so many Gucci's.
I do think that's important, and too, because I took like 5 years off of 5 to 7 years off of releasing music. I did not stop writing music.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing, because people come up to me nowadays, or like on, if I ever get on Facebook and it's like, my OG, my people from Sunbury, Ohio, like that's my OG. That's the people that believed in me in
Right.
the beginning. They'll all be like, if I go home and I see people, they'll be like, oh, are you still doing music? And that's a wild concept to me, because in my mind, I'm like, I never stopped doing, but they don't know. I haven't released music in 7 years. So I'm getting to what you were just talking about.
You feel me?
Why would you not put the music?
Just put it out.
My goal is, every month I'm just dropping. I could drop a song every month for the next 3 years.
Yeah. Just put it out.
More that are like good quality. Like I can do it every week.
There's
Yeah,
that
there's the
fucking
motorcycle I told you.
motorcycle you were talking
He loves
about.
coming through.
God
He loves
damn,
coming through
fucking
at 4
cocksucker.
a.m. and just
Piece of shit, you.
But yeah,
Fucking
you
record.
you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to share yourself with the world.
Yeah.
You only get one.
You only get one shot.
You get you.
Yeah.
Were you gonna sit in a dark corner and with a bubble wrap around you for
Exactly.
the next 20 years? It's like, no, just
I really wish artists would drop more music, because there's only a few like top artists who can go in hiding and come out the woodworks.
you
You know,
can't
the
really say J.
Kanyes,
Cole's,
the
yeah,
J.
yeah.
Cole's, they can go and hide and pop out. They just they different with it's total different. It's levels to everything. You know what I'm saying? It's LeBron James, and then you got some nigga that's in the G League. You get what I'm saying? Like it's.
But the G League guy needs to be in the gym practicing every day.
He got to be in the gym every day.
Going
He
to
need be
tryouts
putting out his shit every day,
so he can
You feel
get
me?
into
because that's what LeBron James did
Exactly.
to be able to be like, I kind of want to skip practice today. I'll play the next game though.
Yep.
You feel
That's
me?
a big one too. But you have to put in the work, right? So I do what I always get in one session a week. That's like where I'm either mixing, editing, whatever I'm doing. I try to do much more than that.
Yeah.
But one is the bare
Baseline,
minimum. Yes.
right.
Because think about, and I've said this to so many people, it's like if you're taking 2 weeks between
Making
putting in
music.
your work, you think Michael Jordan shot a basketball once every 2 weeks?
You make 26 songs a year. That's 52 weeks a year. You make a song every 2 weeks. You work on it, come back,
You got
finish
to make
it.
300.
You making 26 songs a year. That's a lot. That's enough for an album. You can take some
You
out.
feel
boom,
that
boom,
way.
bang.
But,
That's good.
But Michael Jordan was in the gym every single day, shooting
Every day.
for 5 to 6 hours per
he's
day.
a billionaire now.
You need
He hasn't
you
played
need
in
to be
40
willing
years.
to put in that kind of work. That's the difference. And like, I some people aren't willing to put that work in.
That's facts.
But yeah, if you're not putting in the time in your craft, you can't expect to get the results from it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. No, that's some real shit, G, bro. Like we gotta talk about shit like this on the pod, because a lot of artists I hate when an artist come on this motherfucker and they too good for too cool for school, and they like, I be in the studio, I got a bunch of shit I could drop right now and blah blah blah. But it's like, why aren't you dropping it? I'm glad you gave that experience of like getting comfortable in your accomplishments of just getting in through the studio, because life get hard, man. You got work and shit, bills. family you got to
That's
call.
it.
So
That's
if you
it.
get in and make a song, it feel like, all right, shit, I did a little something. I got a little snippet. But what are we doing to hear your work? What are we doing to hear your progression?
Yeah.
So we just got to keep dropping it. Any artist that's listening to this right now.
That too. And you got to have a vision for it too, right? You got to have some kind of a vision, like know what you want to get out of it. I think that's important. A ship without a map is bound to sail off into the distance. You know what I mean? I had a line in the song that said, 2 ships without a map are bound to pass each other by, left to port alone with nowhere on their mind. It's like a ship without a map is just lost, right? So you have to have an end goal. And I think that that's important. Those small goals that lead, like we talked about, the bricks, laying the bricks. You do one at a time. All of a sudden you look back and the thing is there. So you got to have some kind of path, some kind of direction.
Yeah.
And it can be small. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have every moment planned out, but a general, what am I going north, south, east, or west?
Yeah.
Start there and then kind of break it down from there. And I think that's really important. But to be honest, when you said like people come on here and, are on cool guy shit or whatever, I think that that's important too. And I kind of want to make this point. I used to, Robin thing. I love that we're circling back.
Come on, bro.
There was a moment
when
where
I see you, I see Robin a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like,
that's
cute
he
white
was
boy.
He was
shit, you know what I'm saying?
he was a big influence for me, definitely. And there was a time back in the day where I hit a fork in the road. I had 2 people who were kind of giving me influence, and one was like, just continue to be exactly who you are.
Yeah.
Wear whatever you want, look how whatever you want, because you are the product. You are you. You are
You're your
Ryan
brand.
Lutz. And then I had another influence of mine who's still one of my best friends in the entire world, and I don't think he was wrong in this situation, but he was more on the, you are Robin, you're the next white boy R&B. So
Follow
I need
this
you.
path,
I
right.
need you to be clean. I need like a suit jacket with like, we're gonna have this kind of branding for you, right?
With the open top.
Yeah.
collar,
And then he's like, so I
swooped up
need you.
hair,
I need you to
yeah.
like. We need to take down all your old videos, all the music or bust. You ever see the signs where people are like, LA or bust? It's like, I'm going to make it to LA or I'm going to be homeless. Like,
Right.
that was my thing. Like, music, like, bust is a weird word now. But bust, as I'm saying. But so music or bust to me meant like, it's
Yeah.
music or nothing. I have no other option. So that was my like daily vlog. So I took all that stuff down. And I kind of got into this like trying to play almost like a character. I am the character. And that's like, when you say people come on here and try to be on some cool guy shit, I wish I was Mr. Cool Guy.
No.
Like, but I have my own thing. I am me, and I've really embraced, and I think that comes with getting older and like just kind of experience.
Yeah.
You are who you are. I'm gonna say this to the camera. You are who you are, and that's not gonna change, right?
Yeah.
So you can't be afraid to embrace the weird parts of yourself, the parts that you don't like, and like the parts that make you you. That's important. Like, so if you embrace that, plus you have good music, that's how you win. I feel in nowadays culture, because people want real. What are people looking at on TikTok?
Yeah.
Somebody in their pajamas, cooking pancakes, talking
Double cheeked up.
No one cares. Yeah, people want just real, authentic human experience, because we are all so connected that we're super disconnected, right?
Yeah.
We're all looking at a screen of somebody else's life, so it's like,
Yeah, we said
you got to embrace you.
like I said earlier, man, everybody's life is their own version of the Truman Show.
Yeah,
Everybody
I
has
love
their
that.
own.
That's why I was like, we have to bring that back
Yeah,
up.
everybody has their own analysis of the movie The Truman Show, but to me, what I took from it is that everybody's watching you, and you are your own TV show. And until you learn how to escape your own little reality and learn how to, that everybody is watching you, and you focus on that part, and you brand your own self, you can make it here in America, here in the world. G, like, everyone wants to see someone else doing good. That's what we all are watching for. That's what we're watching. We're watching these YouTubers do good, these TikTokers do good. We're watching these rappers do good, singers do good. We're watching people who are putting the work in and doing good in front of our eyes, and we aren't putting the work in.
Yeah.
We're just watching them.
Yeah.
You know, we're standing at the diner like the Truman Show, and they're like, oh, like he almost discovered
so
it. Like, what's
deep.
happening? What's next?
Yeah.
And it's like, put yourself out there. If you want to do something, do it. You'd be surprised how many people will latch on to you because you're doing something positive. People are in bad states these days. Stuff is high. Shit costs money. There's not many days off you can take. There's not many cliffs you can look off of when you go to bed. You know, there's not many of that shit. You know, the very select few get those, but most of the people who have put the work in and the time in and have been great people their entire lives get to have these things. So it's important to know this as people, you know, consumers, watchers, whatever. If you want to do something, go for it. You know what I'm saying? We just listened to this man talk about 20 years of just going for whatever he believed in from a farm in Ohio. You know what I'm saying? And here I am. This is where he sleeps. Y'all don't get. This is this motherfucker's house. We ain't at no Airbnb. We just got a tour. Like, we in his house, looking over a fucking cliff, talking about continuing to focus on hopes and dreams and putting in work and working out, running miles, running marathons and X, Y, and Z. So I just really appreciate you coming through and sharing some of this knowledge with us, because this is going to go back to a lot of young kids in Chicago who look for these artists and look for these things that I'm doing and showing them, because a lot of kids don't get to see outside of Chicago. So even just coming to LA and talking to a different artist, you know, other than rap, bro, like, you don't even do rap necessarily. I mean, you can, but you don't do it necessarily. So it's just a big thing for everybody to come in and fucking see. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. I do want to ask you one last question, G, because this is something I always ask everybody on the Session Podcast. It's going to take a complete left turn, but it's also going to bring this conversation down from the deepness a little bit.
Let's get it.
But you are in LA and you got the clear sky, so I got to ask you, do you fucking believe in aliens?
100%.
Why?
I think that we are aliens.
Now talk to me a little bit about that, because that's where I'm at with the bullshit.
I think that, listen, I think there's so many options that could come from the fact that we're sitting here and I'm speaking to you in a language that's made up, that we all can understand, and we can this shit
build, like,
like,
and fucking.
I think that when I think
we're in the hills, we're in the mountains,
dude. This house was built in like the 1940s on the Hollywood Hills. Like, I just think that this whole thing is like we're floating on a rock in the middle of space. When things get too serious in my life and I get like depressed and stuff, like my mom always jokes with me because I always say it, so she'll hit me with it. She's like, "You're just a meat bag floating on a rock in the middle of space."
Literally.
And then once you think about it like that and you zoom out, you're like, "Oh, okay."
I know we're the aliens because
we have to be. I mean, and the other fact. Wait, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Go. I want
what
you
I
to
want
go.
to say to you is this: is I took in college. I didn't get the best grades. I didn't get the worst. But the one class that I got 100% was astronomy. Because I was very interested in stars and space.
Aren't we all?
And so,
to an extent,
yes. Once I learned how big the galaxy is. We are aliens. There are aliens, or we are aliens. 100%.
We have to have landed here.
It's ever expanding. Just to get out of the Milky Way galaxy, we're in the middle of the Milky Way galaxy, and now I'm going to butcher this too. But if you look, I think it's 100,000 years across, light years.
Yeah, some wild shit.
It's 100,000 light years across. So if we start in the middle, we got to go at the speed of light for 50,000 years just to get outside of the Milky Way galaxy.
Of this one galaxy.
Now there's endless galaxies.
Endless, and it keeps making new ones.
Ever expanding.
We ain't the only motherfuckers.
No.
We're naive to think so.
No.
And
truly, this is probably a simulation.
I truly think it's.
But
it's on the lines of a It's on the lines of a Sims game.
But this is the point we've made the whole time. So why not go for it? Why not go for it?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna quit music and get a regular job.
What are we doing?
It's a simulation, and one day we're all gonna be on our deathbed.
Everybody,
one day you're gonna be laying on your deathbed,
every single one of us.
Everything you ever did. I did sales. I was very good at it. I was.
I did restaurants,
and like I'm not afraid to say, like, I've worked in hospitality for years, and it's been a blessing in my life because it's opened me up the opportunity to continue to do music.
Exactly.
I haven't had to shelve music to do my job because I've been able to keep my lights on, have a sustainable income, save money, do everything I wanted to do, and be able to do music.
Point.
And that's why I think hospitality is beautiful for an artist that wants like a flexible job. But I could have easily stuck with the sales thing. When I was doing sales, I was working 70 hours a week. It's all. I didn't make a song for like 6 months. I was the unhappiest I'd ever been.
Yeah.
And when I'm on my deathbed, I swear to you, if I never make $1 or it takes me till I'm 65 to actually have my TikTok hit, you're gonna be seriously. Like, my dad has 700 songs on his hard drive.
Yeah.
He never put them out. Check it out. My kids would give me.
But you never know. You might birth the child.
I would rather that. I would rather that. Than playing it safe, sticking by, and then. What if you play it safe and it doesn't work out?
Yeah. You
What if you
just
play it
never,
safe
you
and it
never
doesn't?
risked it, bro.
That's
Life
what I'm
is no
saying.
risk, no reward, bro. These sayings don't be just sayings for no reason.
Yeah.
Because there are people who took the risk and got the reward.
Yeah.
There are people, and these are these aren't life threatening risks. These are putting yourself out there for your talent, for whatever you want to do, and trying to make something for you, your family, whatever it is your ambition is that's behind this. It's just trying to make realistically for your brain. You are a brain in a skeleton. It's for whatever your brain in this skeleton wants to do. It's bettering that. It's making that feel good.
Yeah.
And everything else just stems from there. Ryan, I know we're out of time, so I don't want to hold you. We got important shit. I'm glad we were able to squeeze this in.
Let's get it.
I really appreciate you, brother, for just coming on the Session Podcast, giving me this time, giving me this game.
And then real quick before we go,
talk to me
I just
nice.
want to talk because I know we missed earlier on the beginning of the podcast. So Kelly's Acres is the 6-song EP. It's on all streaming platforms right now. I'm very excited about
That
it.
part.
I also want people to understand that like Kelly's Acres is the foundation, right?
Yeah.
So I put that out because that was me taking the risk. Like, okay, I'm not sitting by idle for much longer.
Yeah.
So Kelly's Acres, I put that project out. I am so proud of it, so happy, but I'm very excited for people to hear the next phase because the next phase is it's season 2, right?
Let's do it.
Season 2. So now it's like everything I've been working on, all the craft that I've honed is coming next. So the next single is coming out soon. I'm very pumped. So all socials at Ryan Notes.
I'm gonna get it all on the screen.
At Ryan
We're
Notes,
gonna
and
get
then
all of
all
Ryan's
streaming
socials
platforms. Check
on.
out Kelly's
Y'all know I'm
Acres
gonna
and-
blast his shit on his
Hit me
fucking
up.
page, bro.
Hit me up too. Let's chat.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Yeah, hit Ryan. Y'all want to work features? This we
and
working,
I know a lot of
bruh.
people too, so I might not be the guy, but I could always put you to the.
That's
person,
what I'm saying.
So.
We really working. Like y'all know, and everybody that watched the pod, they know Zoe. Like I'm gonna lock in with the real of the realest. That's why I choose my guests real methodically. And Ryan is one of them guys, bro. He gonna keep you locked in. You want some health knowledge? He gonna lock you in. You want some music knowledge? He gonna lock you in. You need an engineer, video guy, anything you need. He one of them guys you can check in with in LA, put you in the game if you one of the right guys, you know what I'm saying? But we can get it done. You feel me what I'm saying? We're gonna get this EP Kelly's Acres up. We're gonna get that shit up. All of Ryan's tags and everything, we're gonna get it all put on the screen. All the shit put in the description. Make sure y'all follow my boy. He's gonna be back on the pod every time I come to LA. This is a mandatory mission right now.
And shout out to you too for this opportunity.
Oh no, man,
for
this
doing
ain't
what you
shit,
do.
man. This I just need to
but
come and get your
really
story.
You really have something special to you. You have like the right mindset. You're willing to put in the work. I've
Oh,
seen
word,
you grow
man.
so much. So
Yeah,
shout
this
out
is
to
just
you as
1
well,
year
just
worth
for-
of growth, man. I've
for
been
giving
through it
people
all.
this platform is
Hell
amazing,
yeah,
man.
that's what it's about, man. More people have to collab with their talents. We shadow. We're people, bro. Like even if we are aliens and came through this motherfucker together, at the end of the day, we the only ones that can fend off from a bear together.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So with talents and growing and getting things done, we got to start utilizing our platforms. You do music. I give music people a platform. These things need to connect.
Yeah,
You get what I'm
totally.
saying? I like to hear the process. You know, how do you make music? Where did you come from? Why did you want to do this shit? Nigga, like what the fuck is going on with you to where you are today? Like you a locked in human. I'm trying to understand locked in humans.
Yeah,
You understand me? So we appreciate that, man. It's your boy Zoda Session.
Let's go.
Ryan Notes.
Ryan Notes.
Oh
Nice to meet you
yeah.
guys. Be easy.
Oh yeah.
We signing out, man.
Later, y'all.